Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Uh, President of today's seminar, because he's offline. My colleagues, Dr. Dhole, Professor Dhole, and Dr. Jehoa, coordinator of the conference, convener, secretary, my teachers, I can see among the audience, my teachers, my students, I can see, my colleagues, and fellow researcher. Good morning to one and all. I am indeed happy to be a part of this national seminar. I would like to thank my respected teacher and the dynamic leader, Principal Dr. C.J. Khilare sir, who is president of seminar, and respected Dr. C.R. Bobde sir, who is convener and head of the Department of Physics at Balawan College, Vita, for having offered me this opportunity to be amongst you all and share my experience in the materials research. Friends, I am product of Rare Shikshan Samstha. Therefore, being a product of Rare Shikshan Samstha, I would like to offer my sincere gratitude towards the chairman, MC members, secretary, and senior principals in Rare Shikshan Samstha for entrusting me this responsibility to encourage the young researchers. I am extremely grateful to them for having supposed me capable of doing this act for them. Today's invited speakers, including myself, my friend and colleague, Professor Sanjay Dhole from Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, and Dr. Jewa, who is from Central University, Jammu. All three speakers would be addressing about the advanced materials, then novel techniques for fabricating new materials, the way in which the properties of these materials can be tuned, and the way in which these materials can be used in the advanced fields of science and technology. I'm also delighted to see the overwhelming response for this e-seminar in a very short span of time. More than 400 registrations, and now I can see more than 150 online attendances, and more than 100 online YouTube attendance is the evidence for this. Of course, the hard work by Dr. Bobde sir and his team has paid off. And his team consists of Mr. Yogesh Patak, who is co-convener, Mr. Dinesh Dongde, who is coordinator, and Mrs. Priyanka Sinde, who is organizing secretary of this seminar. So I take this opportunity to congratulate Bobde sir and his team for successful organizing this event. Friends, I have great honor and privilege to give keynote address at this very hall, a nice gathering. For this, I would like to share, I would like to take help of PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, friends, immediately after completing my MSc in 1994, I started my research career in material science. The theme of our conference also is the recent trends in the materials research. Therefore, to begin with, I would like to tell you the fact that since last 24 years, I am working in the materials field. I am working both in bulk and thin film materials, and I'm using these materials in various applications. Initially I worked on porous ultralight silicon aerogel for advanced applications. Also, I worked on chalcogenide materials in solar cell application. I'm working on transparent conducting oxide coatings by economical chemical techniques for energy harvesting, conversion, and storage devices. In addition to this, I'm working on composite oxide magnetic materials for magnetoelectric applications. This is the slide where I have graphically demonstrated the list of the materials on which I have worked and the number of publications which we have uh, got, the number of papers which we have published on the various materials. As you can see, the quantum of the work is centered around transparent conducting oxides, solar cell materials, photoelectrocatalysis, gas sensor, ME composite, UV detector, and I'm working on the memristor applications also. So for my work was recognized recently by Maharashtra Academy of Sciences, and in 2015, they felicited me by giving their membership. Materials, as you all you know, is a very broad and vital field of knowledge, and it has made a foundation stone of modern technological society. Of course, this is interdisciplinary field concerning understanding and utilization of the properties of matter. And the interdisciplinary field consists of the subjects like physics, chemistry, biology, electronics engineering, chemical engineering, civil engineering, computational engineering, and so on. Friends, these materials, the material can be a natural material, can be a man-made material. The the materials can be natural material like wood, or the human-made materials like the material like, so there are more than 3 lakh different material known to the mankind. Of course, of these 3 lakh fields, here I am giving a representative list just to know what is happening in the material science research. So the materials are magnetic materials, superconducting materials, thermoelectric materials, supercapacitors, energy devices, electronic materials, biomaterials, semiconducting materials, graphene, polymers, composites, nanomaterials, optoelectronic materials. Just a minute. I wish to. Right. New generation paramagnetic material. I will begin my discussion with the new generation permanent magnets. We know the permanent magnets, they are made from the ferromagnetic materials, and the traditional materials used for preparing ferromagnetic materials or the permanent magnets, they are iron, nickel, and cobalt, and alloys and the minerals like lodestone. But the new generation magnetic materials, of course, they are their magnetic strength is very high. They are moderately corrosion resistance. Their operating temperature also is very high. But we have to cope up with the cost of the materials. And these materials, this is the list of the material. These are the new generation permanent magnets. Among these, ALNICO, SMCO, and NDFEB, these are used extensively in storage media, robots, and sensing sound. Superconductors is the another class of the materials. Since its invention in 1911 by Owens, he observed the superconductivity in the mercury at 4.2 Kelvin temperature, very, very low temperature. And we know superconductivity means the charges or the current moves through the material without resistance. The research in the material science, superconductivity was concentrated on investigating funding materials having relatively higher critical temperature. And in 1986, around that, the high tissue superconductor like a YBCO, BISCO, they were investigated. Constant effort in finding or increasing funding the materials having relatively higher TC is continuously goes on. And now the material like lanthanum decahydrate, LaH10, whose critical temperature is around minus 23 degrees Celsius, that is around 250 Kelvin, is investigated. People are still working on inventing the room temperature TC based superconductors for the applications like levitating trains and cars and logistic system. Thermoelectric material, they convert heat energy into electrical energy and vice versa. And we know CBEC has demonstrated that if you create a temperature difference along a material, the voltage can be generated. The current interest or the current goal of people is to develop the link between or they are developing the state of art strategies for high performance thermaltic materials and devices, and they are doing this by establishing the link between synthesis, the structural of the material, characteristics of the material, and their underlying science, particularly physics and chemistry. And these advanced thermoelectric materials would improve refrigeration efficiency at the ACs and freezers. And this is the list of the thermoelectric materials. Energy storage devices, particularly batteries. And the well-known batteries known to us, they are lithium-ion battery, lead-acid batteries. But the supercapacitor seems to be a substitute for the batteries, you can say. It bridges the gap between capacitor and rechargeable batteries. And these supercapacitors are used in the applications where the rapid charge discharge cycle is needed than the long-term capacity of storage. And the current uh, research in the energy storage devices is developing the supercapacitors for rapid charging of the storage batteries for hybrid vehicles. And this is done with the help of double layer capacitor, and the capacity of the order of 10 kilofarad has been observed is realized in many materials. The extensively studied material for the supercapacitor is ruthenium oxide. Then people are working on metal oxides. People are working on polymer materials and carbon materials for energy storage devices, particularly supercapacitors. Energy harvesting and storage devices. Photoelectrocatalysis and photocatalysis is used for the purification methods and for water splitting. And the prospect of semiconductor photo and semiconductor is used for the photocatalysis. And my today's topic, which I will be delivering in the second session after Professor Dhole, is centered on use of semiconducting oxides for photocatalysis. So people are extensively investigating the materials, new materials, and they are tuning the properties for making use of these materials in degradation of water or purification of water. Efficient and economical photochemical water splitting methods will be certainly a breakthrough, and that could be the underpin in hydrogen economy. And the materials like titania, tungsten trioxide, zinc oxide, barium titanate, and their composites are tried for photoelectrochemical and photocatalytic solar energy harvesting. SOFC, solid oxide fuel cell. These are basically a fuel cell. We know fuel cell, it is a combustion-free and pollution-free, combustionless and pollution-free power source. It converts chemical energy into electricity. And this chemical energy of a fuel like hydrogen and the oxidizing agent like oxygen is converted into electricity. In SOFC, solid oxide is used as the electrolyte. We know for the fuel cell, we need electrolyte, cathode, anode, and interconnect and supporting materials. Among these, the electrolyte material, they are solid oxide. And the popular electrolyte materials like YSZ, SCSZ, GDC, they are tried in SOFC, and the efficiency of the order of 60% or even more than that has been realized in this SOFC field. The operating lifetime of these SOFC is more than 40,000 hours. Optoelectronic photonic materials like direct band gap 3-5 semiconductors, gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, gallium nitride, gallium antimonide, or the photonic materials like gallium arsenide, aluminum gallium arsenide, and their alloys, they are of a pivotal significance due to their frequent use in the well-known gadgets like PCs, hard drives, cell phones, etc., etc. And the optoelectronic devices like laser diodes, superluminescent diodes, and light-emitting diodes, photodetectors, imaging detectors, they are heart of this optoelectronic technology. The gadgets and devices based on, as I said, semiconducting oxide material, composite, direct band gap semiconductors, magnetic materials, based on these spintronic materials, this spintronic material, it is the layered material where we have the layers of metal, insulator, and another metal. And these spintronic material like AbO3 type of materials, they are used like BiFeO3, YMNO3, LuFe2O4, RMNO3. We know nanotechnology can be a separate topic of seminar or it can be a separate lecture. But certainly this nanotechnology has changed the overall approach of material science. And these materials, they can be quantum dots, that is zero-dimensional materials, wires like one-dimensional material, thin film, two-dimensional nanostructure, and the three-dimensional nanostructure can also be fabricated. So material in 0, 1, 2, 3 dimension can be fabricated. We know if you make a material having size, particle size, less than 100 nanometer, then the property of these material, they drastically change. And all the advantages of these materials, when their size is reduced, is used in a diverse field of these, in the science and technology, particularly the field in which these materials, where their properties can be tuned, is used. They are optical devices, magnetic gadget, catalysis, microelectronics, pharmaceutics, storage technologies, and energy conversion devices. So far as the materials like ceramic and glasses are concerned, some applications of the material science to drastically improving the properties of the common components is the Corning Gorilla Glass, which is a scratch resistance. We know the potassium, it diffuses far inside the surface of the material, and this increases the toughness and compressive strength of the material, and the surface of the material becomes highly resistant and damage free. Another materials and the composites which are used in the space shuttle protection system, they are thermally insulating composite materials, and they play a very key role in the protection system. Polymer technology or the polymer material is the another class of the material which has carved a place in the fields of automobile industry, electronic industry, aerospace industry, textile industries, and the materials like PANI, PPY, PT, PSE, polyfuran, and polyzolene, they are extensively used. CNT means carbon nanotube based fibers, and these are extremely high specific strength materials, and they have high modularity. Their multifunctionality is used in the paper industry and textile industry. The carbon nanotubes, they can be single wall or they can be multi-walled carbon nanotubes. And so far as the use of the CNTs in medical field is concerned, they have used these CNTs in bioimaging, drug delivery, biosensor, tissue regeneration, cancer treatment, and 3D scan field. A new field called as computational material science research, where the computational methods like DFT, density functional theory, molecular dynamics, kinetic Monte Carlo, dislocation dynamics, phase field, crystal plasticity, finite element methods, all these are used through a computer program, and materials, they are literally computed and designed on the computer, and the as per the desired property. So materials, they are fabricated or designed on the computer, and they are tested, simulated on the computer for with various properties. So in this way, we reduce the cumbersome time, because just we trial and basis. We use trial and basis for finding the optimum properties of the material. So the tailoring and the tuning of the properties can be done with the help of the computational material science research. Graphene, as you know, is a allotrope of the carbon. It is the strongest material, and these materials, they can efficiently conduct the heat and electricity. And very well known applications of the graphene, they are in the sensors, aerospace, high speed transistor, tissues, energy applications, flexible electronics, and certainly the discovery of this two-dimensional graphene has immensely boosted in nanotechnology research. Current research in the graphene are mainly focused on modification of this graphene to enhance the application in the potential different areas of nanoscience and nanotechnology. Quantum dots, or the zero-dimensional nanostructures, they are also referred as artificial atoms. And many quantum dots of the 3,5 semiconductor, like gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, indium arsenide, etc., they are based on the spin properties of the single electron. And we know the applications of these quantum dots, they are in the single electron transistor, solar cells, LEDs, quantum computing, and medical imaging. Biomaterial is also a very attractive class of the materials, where this field focuses on development of the materials to replace human tissues and almost all human organs. The materials, they include silicon, rubber, diachron, cellulose, polythrons, hydrogels, stainless steel, titanium, alumina, right, and polar, etc. Advanced characterization tools like the advanced microscope, spectroscope, microscopic testing equipment, all they are useful in carrying out the material characterization investigation. So materials chemistry and physics has become relatively easy with the aid of advanced characterization tools. Therefore, when you look at the prospect or future of the material science research, we know sustained efforts of research of material science is to design and discovering the new materials. But while doing this, we need to take into account the fact that these materials should be lighter, faster, stronger, smarter, and durable. And this can be used by making use of characterization technique. And these characterization techniques play a key role in designing or in changing a challenge of connecting processing and structure with properties and performance, which has been shown as the cornerstones of the material paradigm. There are many in emerging trends as far as the emerging trends in material science is concerned. Here I would like to give a small list of the materials which are the prospective trends in the material science research. And they are silica aerogels, conducting polymers, polyurine, thin film devices, 3D printing, nanoscale machining, titanium in aerospace industry, and perovskite solar cells. Silica aerogels. We know these silica aerogels, they are synthetic porous ultra light materials, and only 0.2% solid, that is silica, and 99.8% air is there in the silica aerogel. They are 99% transparent. Their density is very, very low, 0.001 gram per cc. And the applications, main applications of these materials, they are in thermal insulation, liquid rocket propellants, supercapacitors, catalysts, active agents, filling materials, materials for tissue engineering, and etc. etc. The future prospect of the silica aerogel or aerogel technology is These silica aerosols, they are inorganic aerosols. So people are working on the organic aerosols like RF aerosol. They are called as resorcinol formaldehyde aerosols and hybrid aerosols. That is organic, inorganic aerosols, organopolysilane. Conducting polymers, this is the another emerging field in which the research is continuously going on. And these conducting polymers, we know polymers, they can be insulators, semiconductors, or metals. And traditional plastics or polymers are the electrical insulators. But the conducting polymers, they can form a discriminating layer in the electronic chemical sensors. So electrochemical chemical sensors are formed with the help of conducting polymers. The another field, fullerene, as you know, this is one of the alpha of the carbon, and this is used in the drug delivery system. And this also is a very attractive field. The field or the trend based upon the next generation memory and processor devices based on the thin film technology. This also is a very attractive field. 3D field, 3D printing is used in molds for the jewelry or formation of a jewelry itself, gift industry, or in fabrication of the personalized art. So this also is a very attractive recent trend in material science research. Nanoscale machining, the material, it can be fabricated as per our architecture. So this architecture can be done with the help of nanoscale machining. Materials, structures, and devices can be tailored. Titanium, which is the lightweight material, strongest material, and versatile material, it is used in almost each part of the plane. You can see structural components, engine systems, door components, landing gears, and wing components. So titanium in the aerospace industry, this also is a emerging field in the materials research. Perovskite. Perovskite is a AbO3 type of structure, and these perovskite materials, they can be used either in inorganic solar cell, organic solar cell, all organic solar cell, or hybrid solar cell, organic inorganic solar cell material. So the materials which are used in organic inorganic solar cell, they are methylamine, lead trihalide, or the material like CSSNI3, and this I have listed here. So the most efficient band gap has been found to be 1.34 electron volt, and the maximum power conversion efficiency is around 34% with the help of perovskite type of solar cell. And this is also a very attractive field of the. So this is the survey of the some fields of the material research and few material fields in which there are prospects in which you can do the research. Friends, I would like to tell something about the research. I would like to tell the thumbnail of the thumb rule of the research. To be honest, there is no thumbnail of the thumb rule of the research. And research is a generation of knowledge. So, based upon some knowledge, we have some plan about doing some research in our mind. We do research, we collect information, and this information acts as a knowledge, and this knowledge is given to the society back. So, this is the general trend in the research. Keep in mind, when you do a research in material science, nothing is waste. Any experiment, it is not a waste. So what you should do, you should have the commitment and the constant efforts. So far as the materials in research in the material science is concerned, you need to update yourself, because for quality research needs updated information. You need to publish your work not in the local journals, but in the journals which are indexed in Scopus or Web of Science database. And while doing this, you need to follow research ethics very honestly. The purpose of such a gathering, the conference, which is conducted by Balon College Vita, is to inspire and to give the knowledge to the young researcher or the scientists who are working in the various fields. But this inspiration and the knowledge should be converted into action. There are so many instruments available around you. They may be musical instruments or they may be the scientific instrument. They are large in number, but the bottleneck is they needs to be used more. They need to be used more. Friends, coronavirus pandemic has a lot of dark sides. No matter how serious and sad all of these is, but we should always look at the bright side of this pandemic or this difficult situation. What we should do, we should think the way, innovative way of proceeding further. So I take this opportunity to thanks organizer to give the keynote address at this very uh, big gathering. Thank you, friends.